John?
We're going through our employees that didn't last long enough to get on the uh, worst employee of the month, and the reason that it's not up there right now is because since we had that video about Oz yesterday, we've been thinking about our old employees that's been here, what the order was. So, but first, let's check out the trade-ins real quick. We just got in an Xbox original. We got in another Dreamcast. It sold as soon as we opened up this drawer. So we got in Rad Racer, Airwolf, Bases Loaded, Skate or Die for the NES. I think we have most of those already. Earth Defense Force, Street Fighter 2. We haven't had that one in a little while. Donkey Kong Country 2 for the Super we haven't had in a while. We do have Tournament Edition out there, but we don't have the original NBA Jam out there, so we did get a few of those in today. And we were talking about like Oz was our very first employee, right? And a kid named John was our second. Now, the reason we have all these photos of all of them is because, we have the Worst Employee of the Month program here at Player One. We need to change that. We need to put Twan up there. You have to write Twan down. So, of course, our very first employee was Oz, and you saw the video yesterday. Our second, who's not shown in here, is John Hart, I think is his last name. And then we have Mason. Now, John I hired because he used to come in here all the time. Here, take this and.
Okay.
Yeah. So John I hired when he. Yeah, John I hired because he came in here all the time, and so I said, I know him, we'll hire him up, and so it was just Oz and John for a long time because I worked every day back in those days. I didn't have another job, and then John, I let him go for a little while. I couldn't afford him, and then we got him back for just a short time, and then he went on to sell Cutco knives or something, or working at cons. I can't remember both. So then we picked up Mason, the Masonator. So the Mason was our third employee, and I picked him up because every Saturday morning he would come in with his grandparents. His grandmama would stand in the corner right over there, and she'd stand right there because she'd watch him because he was little. He was like 12 or 13. So I got to know old Mason, and we hired him up. He was just 16 when we hired him, and that's the last time we'll ever hire a 16-year-old. Thanks, Mason. And then we hired up Tim. He's still here. We hired him because we knew Tim for a few years. And then we hired Tom, and he left for bigger and better things. And then we hired Jason. Now, the reason I hired Jason is because he did our first TV commercial on YouTube, and for a class project. So I knew him over the years, and then I had to hunt him down to find him. And then Alex, I was Oz's friend, and then we played volleyball together. So we hired up Alex. And then Daniel played volleyball with me and Alex, so I got to know him. That's why we hired him. And now, Andrew, I really only barely knew you from coming in the shop a little bit, but Oz knew you better, so I said, hire Andrew. Oh, you didn't know Oz?
Not really, yeah.
No, he tricked me. Oz said he knew you.
I liked Alex a lot, and I went to high school with Daniel.
Oh, okay,
And so,
okay.
yeah.
So
That was the group.
So
And I knew Jason. Jason I used to hang out with.
Okay.
I hung out with Jason and Daniel. Or Daniel I knew from high school. Jason I hung out with. Alex
Right.
I started hanging out with more. And then Oz I would see every now and then through
Right.
Alex.
And then so yeah, you were pretty in the middle of the pack here.
Yeah.
And
So
then
these three I knew, and then these three I met.
a funny story about these two real quick. We hired them at the same time, but they never worked on the same shift. And so they never met until we always have our office Christmas party in December. We have a midsummer one too, at somewhere dumb like Denny's. So we were at Denny's, and they were sitting across from each other, and they said, "Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Alex, and I'm Jason," and I just busted out laughing.
You thought they'd met
I thought they knew each other, right? And that's the first time they met. And they've been working for like 4 months at the shop, so it made me laugh.
That's just like me and Daryl. I just didn't know that he was here.
Right, yeah, you didn't know
But
either.
I just didn't know he even worked here.
And so
I
then
didn't know that was the Daryl y'all hired.
yeah, then we hired
I was like, I
Daryl.
know that guy.
You know the guy. Then we hired Daryl and Jeremy. Daryl wasn't here long enough to get a picture for Worst Employee of the Month, and Jeremy was here for about a year and a half or so, right? And went on to Tennessee. And then we hired Donnie, and we forgot Zeb. Did we mention Zeb?
No.
Yeah, Zeb was somewhere, I don't remember exactly. Zeb was like right in this era,
Yeah.
and so we had to get rid of poor Zeb.
Where's Josh Garza?
Josh was right after you, right before Jeremy. Josh wasn't here long enough to get a picture for Worst Employee of the Month. He went on to HEB, left us. And then we hired Donnie, and he left us for coffee, for Dunn's. And then we hired Cade, which we hired 3 people at the same time. Cade, Twan, and way down there, say hey, and Brian. Right, so we had to let Cade go because he was working too much at Chick-fil-A, and he had other stuff he needed to do instead of us. But we understood. We were last on his list, and I agree. And then we have Connor. So that's it, right?
Yeah. Everybody.
That's everybody.
I think, but I can't remember.
I'm sure there's a couple more in there that I've hired for a day or two. Oh yeah, there was. Oh my goodness, there was somebody right after Oz and before John.
Oh.
And I do not remember. Aaron, I think his name was Aaron. Yeah, he only lasted like 2 days though. Aaron, I think Aaron is his name.
Oh yeah.
He
We
worked.
talked about him before.
Yeah, I think he worked out at NASA
So
or
there's
something.
one guy you just forgot his name.
Yeah, he was a kid. I can't remember his. He was like 16. I can't remember his name. Oz might remember. So we're missing somebody in there, but yeah, those are all the employees.
21. If you
Really?
remember
Oh
that
my
one guy.
goodness. And
That's-
I'm sure there's a couple more.
So 21 over 11 years.
21 over 11
It's
years.
not that many.
That's not that bad, right? You guys stick
Oh,
around
it's
for a while
because yeah.
because it's
That's
easy
why.
here.
We just yeah. No one grow up.
No one wants to grow up. So
Not in
well,
this economy.
no way. Well, all right. Come on down to Player One. That's it for our Worst Employee of the Month. It'll be a great time.